Hello and welcome to Gamers Comms commentary of Lands of Lore. And this, sorry, I'm a bit tired. And this is, SoylentBob. So.
And this is the Iwasaki one here. And of course, we are a pair. It looks like when we do commentary nowadays.
Yep. All right, and let me just point something out here. You might have noticed a little black arrow in the middle of the screen. That wasn't there when I recorded it, but it appeared after the recording. So I think what's happening is my recorder's kind of like picking up background crap that's behind the windowed app. So yeah, I'm sorry I can't get rid of that. I'll try to figure out if I can get rid of that in the second recording of this. So yeah, just try not to pay attention to it. I'm well aware it's there.
Yep. And don't worry, folks. Again, sometimes when you try to emulate some of these older games with like DOSBox or Scum VM, it's sometimes the game works perfectly, sometimes not. So what do you expect?
Yeah. And then you might notice a very familiar voice with King Richard here, and the man sitting in the throne. That is Patrick Stewart, who did the voice for King Richard in this game. The other voice actors, I don't know who the heck they are. But...
Yep. But if you guys know who Patrick Stewart is, well, you guys should also, if I remember if it's the same Patrick Stewart, you should remember him from the Star Trek universe.
Yeah, I think what's going on here is the holodeck's on the fritz again.
So, folks, Lands of Lore is, the way to explain this game is, it is an adventure kind of game, but it's a first-person adventure game that you move by using the keyboards or moving with your mouse pointer, and you battle and you level up too as well.
Yeah, there are very few games that were made in this style. If I remember correctly, what was it, Might and Magic was done this way, and I think Skullkeep and Skullkeep 2 were done this way.
Yeah.
You remember those games? Those were also pretty good games.
Yep.
And there was a recent game on the Nintendo DS. That's funny, the arrow's pointing at her nose. Just give me a minute here, I'll get my DS pulled up and I can hopefully get the name of that game for you. Oh, maybe I can't because I swapped out, I forgot I swapped out the, wait, no, here it is. Evantian Destiny Odyssey, I think is what it was called. It's hard to read the writing here, but I think, yeah, Evantian Odyssey on the DS was also done this way too. But this was years later, so it wasn't like they were doing anything new. It had already been done before.
Yep. And to give you guys more of an idea how old this game was, this game here, the first one called Lands of Lore, The Thrones of Chaos, was released in 1993. So this is a really early 90s game here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is right around the time that the Super Nintendo was at its peak.
Yep, or when it was coming out, either or. And also, folks,
yeah,
doing that whole intro thing, I probably might put it up as a bonus clip at the end of this video. But they do give a background history of what's going on and everything, but it takes a while for them to actually get going about what they're talking about. So, other than that, you know, that'll be at the end of this video here.
Yeah.
So now we actually get to pick our own champions, and each one is done differently here.
Yeah, they all have their own abilities and aspects and stuff. And on a personal note, the only two I've actually ever really played as were Michael and Conrad, because they had the best, you know, in my opinion, the best well-rounded stats for my playability. You know, so I wouldn't really use magic very often. I just use attacks and defense. So it's like you got your magic guy, you got your hard hitter, which is Michael.
You got the speed demon over here. Notice his name.
Yeah, the Khajiit
or something like that.
And
Conrad is the well balanced. He's like the Mario of this game. If you get what I mean, Mario is always the well-rounded type for different games. So
yeah,
you get what I mean.
If you're like a first-time player, beginner with this game, then yeah, you're gonna want to play as Conrad.
Because
He's
he is
real
pretty
good.
well balanced there. But if you're a magic user, you want to go with Oxshelled. And he does pretty good for it, but like I said, it just all depends on your play style. And the one guy I say do a long play of this here, the channel was the world's longs plays or whatever it was. He actually used Oxshelled for this, which is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just kind of like dick around a little bit here, here and there, and you get different reactions out of different characters depending on like what you click on and like things that you buy from them.
Yep. And which is if you think about it, it's actually pretty nice, and it gives you playability. And people are asking, well, what's my experience with this game? Well, mostly I only have never gotten to play this game. This is one of the games I actually do want to play, and I want to see how well I do on my own. But I only watched someone do a long play of this game here. But other than that was me. That's it for me. So SoylentBob has more experience than I do.
And again, with this one, like as I do with other games, I mean, I don't have a lot of real major complaints with this game. The only one I can really think of is the restrictions you have with party members. Okay, we know you have to play as your character you picked. Like I picked Michael, I gotta keep him in my party because that's who I'm playing as. But if you notice, when you pick your player, you have 4 heroes, and they're all male characters. They didn't have a single female character, which I thought was kind of odd because you have an NPC, as you saw, her name is Dawn, and she's like this badass female wizard,
Sorceress or something like that.
Sorceress, yeah. So it would have been nice to have had a female hero that you could play, or heroine as you could play as.
But that's not the case here. And this guy who you're looking at, he's the blacksmith, Victor.
Yeah, when I was younger, I always liked Victor. I thought he was funny, but he kind of takes a turn for a worse later on.
Yep, and for the folks who knows what we're talking about, you have actually played the game, so don't spoil it for the rest of us here. But other than that, Victor, he goes down a different path.
Yeah, and I will point out though that later in the second recording I'm going to be doing of this, you do get a female companion that joins your party, but she's the only one you get, and she's only temporary, which is sad. I tried to figure out a way I could keep her in my party, and you can't. It's just the way the game's structured.
Oh yeah, are we gonna get up to that point where we actually meet her, or not in this part here?
Not in this recording. It'll have to be in the second one because she's in the Oracle's cave.
Yeah.
That's in the next half. I didn't want to get this recording drawn out way too long because I was over at my sister's house and they were cooking Easter dinner and stuff, and I was sitting playing this and recording it, and I didn't want to be rude, so I just kept it short.
Yep.
Oracle Caves take some time to get through.
Yep, and this person on the right here, who's speaking right now, the girl, that is Dawn, the person who we were just talking about just now.
Yep. Yeah. Since that's, like I said, sadly you can't use her in your party, but you get another chick later on. And it's like they gave you certain party members. Like you'll see me playing this. I'll get an elf companion, and he only sticks around with me for a short while too. And this is one of those games. Like if you've ever played any of the earlier Final Fantasy games, make sure you unequip your party members before they leave your party, because you won't get them back, and whatever you have equipped them with, you won't get that back either. They will literally take your stuff if you give them gear. So.
And always it was steal from you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you gave me Excalibur? Well, you can't have the sword back. I have to go on with Mike. I see it. Bye.
Yeah. I make that mistake in this first recording here, so when I finally do get them, I goof and I forget. So I went back and I didn't record it because I didn't want to have to re-record this whole thing all over again, and I went back and I unequipped the guy and sold all his gear.
Yeah. And at least you got the book, which is actually a good thing to get, because that book there is actually your map book whenever you're traveling around anyways.
Yeah, it comes in very useful. I mean, that's the one thing that Princess Tomato was lacking greatly when you're in the free roam parts of the game. They really seriously needed a map, because you can get lost even with the compass.
Yep, and this guy here, I never liked him, this douchebag here.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why I don't like him. There is a reason, but it doesn't come in until much later, though. Well, not exactly that much later, but it's just the way how this guy acts like a pompous asshole here and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'll see as I'm doing here right now.
These are all maps. Those are mine. What are you waiting for? Be gone. Why are you waiting for that?
Yep, it's a go figure thing.
Yeah, you showed me.
Yep, so now that SoylentBob has gone, what was it, the book here, now it's time to head out. Now, later on, you can get a compass, but that doesn't happen until either you go into one of the caves or something, but I don't know when that is exactly.
The compass you get in the Southlands, there's a man in the inn that gives it to you, and he's the only one that I know of that gives you the compass. If you're gonna get the compass, you gotta get it from the guy in the inn, because I know no other place you can get it.
I thought you got it from a cave or something, but again, it's been a while.
No, that's a lantern.
Oh yeah, that's it. The land is what I'm thinking of.
Well, like I said, I mean, like there might be another place for the compass. I always got it from the dude in the inn.
You're probably right, though. That's probably one of the places. Oh, hey, look, a pretty woman. And now, folks, you have to. For us back then, these graphics were the shit back then. These were like, wow, holy crap, look what they're doing here.
Yeah, but it actually does look pretty good for its time. I mean, especially compared to the stuff that was out there. They couldn't render faces like that, like on the Super Nintendo. I mean, this looks even better than Doom. I mean, the Doom guy, you can't. Face looks better.
So pretty much here, folks. The way you grab items is that you just click on the screen where the item's at, and I believe you can throw it at them or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Throwing it. Yeah, drawing stuff comes in real handy. It kind of like acts as having another party member. So if you have 3 party members and you throw stuff too, you kind of have 4 party members.
Hey, get out of here!
Oh. Oh, so you decided to actually go ahead and fight these guys, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, when I played this when I was a little kid, I'd always do the easiest route. I'd either just sneak around them or leave them alone. But yeah.
Yeah, and here, what was it? This is the first case we actually get to go visit here, actually. But it's a good thing. Sorry, Bob picked a character who's actually pretty strong and everything.
Yeah, but if I had Conrad, these guys would already be dead by now. As you can tell, they're one guy's already kicking my ass.
Yeah, but then again, though, he didn't really have a great enough defense out of it, too,
Yeah.
I mean, there ain't nothing that much you can do there.
Yeah, I got a shield later on and better armor.
Yep, and the way you equip the items is, I believe, you click on the character portraits, and then it brings you up to your equip screen as well.
Yeah, I did that by mistake when I was trying to heal him, if you noticed.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there. And yes, folks, that button with the 3 C's, that means you can actually go to sleep at any time, pretty much, throughout this whole thing. And which is actually a good thing, but it can also be bad, too, because you could be in a dungeon, and then before you know it, when you really need to heal up, guess what? An enemy can attack you when that happens.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're gonna heal, you gotta be in an area where there's no enemies. Like if you're being chased by enemies, run very, 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 very far away. There's the lamp right there, and they usually won't wake up. Yeah, usually won't wake up. Yep.
Yep. So, we got the lantern here, and now if SoylentBob wanted to use his book over there, he could there actually to show off the map and everything else. But so far, it's self-explanatory at least for this dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the maps itself out as you wander around. This cave isn't too complex. There are a few little minor puzzles in it that you'll notice here.
Yep, and folks, whenever you think you get stuck, always look for some kind of button on the walls or something there, because even though it doesn't look like it, there might be a button or something that you need to open up a different door.
Yeah, kind of like what I'm doing here. It's been a while since I played this. I kind of gotta, dig around with stuff and try to figure things out.
Yeah, well, it happens. Like I said, there. See, like that button. That's what I mean by looking at different buttons like that.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot can be hidden too, as you can see here.
Sometimes chests, sometimes monsters.
Now, you can smash chests to open them, but I recommend finding a key or lockpick first before you try doing that, because you can damage items if you smash a chest.
Yep, and that's not a good thing if you smash a chest there or anything, because that could be a pain in the ass. You might get a really crappy item later on with that kind of stuff.
Yep. And depending on, I know I'm not in the right area for this now, but I just now remembered it. And certain areas, you can pick up crowns. If you notice how when I'm wandering around, I'll search birds' nests and mud puddles, because you can find crowns in them. Even the fountain, you can find crowns in. But in all the playthroughs I've done of this, it hasn't happened. But it did back when I played this when I was like 10 years old. So I don't know.
And now we get to see what the map looks like here. So if you see, if you want to pause it back there, you can see how the map looks. But whatever entrance you're trying to go to, at least they give you the courtesy of having a color coded. So, I mean, it's laid out pretty easy, like you're about to see now here.
Yeah, and I need to keep referencing it to make sure I'm going the right way.
Well, hey, at least this is a lot better than Princess Tomato kind of thing here. Oh yeah, and that's right. You can actually run into enemies as well too.
Yeah, that's what Princess Tomato was missing was the enemy encounters.
Yeah, so tell me, why did you go instead with Conroy? Why did you go with him here, this guy here?
Well, when I played through this before, I used Conrad, so I figured I'd decide to see how well I could play as this guy. He doesn't have very good defense, but he's got, like I said, he's a hard hitter, so I figured I'd give him a try.
Yep, and also one thing to keep notice is that if you ever find oil flask, pick them up for your lantern.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you end up with see, they needed to have a grouping, with option with items, so that way you could group daggers together. Instead of having 3 separate spaces for daggers, they could put them all in one space of that item type, and they really needed to do that. So as you can see, I'm coming back to the keep so I can free up my inventory space, because when I get to the Southlands, I'm going to be picking up orcs and maces, and I need to have space for that, because then I'm going to come back and sell those too, because I don't need them, and I'm trying to get better gear. So now with this game, I mean, it would be good to hold on to these daggers if I didn't have limited space, because let me see here. Yeah, he offers 5 crowns. Now, there's a part later on in the game in the Gorka Swamp. There is a stone statue where if you put items in it, it will give you 60 crowns no matter what the item is. If it's a quest item, though, you cannot put it in the stone figure. It won't take it. But anything else, it'll give you 60 crowns for it, regardless of its value.
Yep.
So the thing to do is hold on to like a bunch of really useless crap, including rocks, because you can't sell rocks, but you can put them in the stone face and get 60 crowns for them. So you'll see me pick up every single rock I run across just so I can do that.
10 crowns.
And like I said, I mean, like if I didn't have limited space, I'd save all these daggers and take them to that stone face too, but you don't get there for quite some time still.
25 crowns.
Yep. And also, folks, there, if you notice, like down there, when SoylentBob like picked up a whole bunch of lock picks, like a whole bunch of keys and everything. If you want, the way to open chests is by using those keys there, and you just keep clicking on the chest until it actually opens and all that stuff. So it gives you an idea.
Yeah.
You again come to no.
Yeah, we'll see you later, Victor.
No. Yeah, so I was giving myself better weapons because gotta fight orcs in the next part of the game here. And my pointer in the middle of the screen changed.
Yeah, go figure. And now we come back here to go tell that we saw Scotia. And in case you guys weren't paying attention to the intro of who Scotia was, she was that old hag who found like this magic ring that could transform her into a sexy lady or into a crow.
Well, I'd accidentally gone in there, you know, I was running through this real quick, and then I kind of like took a wrong turn, and I was like, oh, he says something different when he goes in there. So, figured I'd walk around and tell other people about it. Except for this guy. I mean, probably the reason why he doesn't tell this guy is because if he did, he's so scared about everything, he'd probably shit his pants.
Yeah. And it's a go figure thing there too. But anyways here, so now that we actually gone back to Gladstone, now it's time for us to keep going, and now it's time for us to actually move on with the plot.
Yeah, and you'll notice here too, when I go to the marina, I try something with the female here, so who runs the place.
Oh.
Yeah, just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Where's your money? I got it from the king. Where is it? Where's your money?
Yeah, it's coming up.
All right.
Watch it.
See, I was like, wait.
Watch it. That's the last
Oh, come on, guys. It's not like any of you guys would not have done that.
I know, right?
I didn't know you could click on it like that, though, still.
Yeah, I know, right? I found that so funny. I wonder if they did that deliberately, you know?
You're like, I wonder what happened if we do this. And now we're in the Southlands, if I remember this correctly.
Yep.
And now here, this is what we will go into areas like the swamps and more caves and other things like that, too.
And it's nice that the music changes depending on like what forest you're in. You notice it's completely different music from last time.
Yep.
Now here's where you get the compass. So this door over here on the right, yeah.
Are you by chance Timothy of Gladstone? No, I am Philip.
I am Philip. Philip.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, and he gives you your compass.
Yep, what's this something else for you here? And now we got our compass, and here's the bar keep. Boy, wasn't he a pretty looker.
Okay.
Yep, so if you wonder who Timothy is, well, it's either the guy in the brown shirt or the guy in the green shirt. You take a guess.
Yeah, well, the guy over on the far right behind the door told you who he is. He's sitting by the fire.
I don't know. I'm just talking about if you didn't talk to the guy before.
Yeah.
There and everything else.
Yeah, it's right. If you talk to Timothy first, he doesn't tell you Timothy's sitting next to the fire.
Yep.
It's a little bit different, and he doesn't ask if he's Timothy. He just apologizes for knocking on the door. You know, but you still get the compass. He'll still give it to you.
Yeah, but it's just better to do it the other way, like we just have here. So now we have our first party member.
Pleased to join you, sir.
Timothy has joined the party. Da 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 da.
Yep. If you notice that Timothy's got the pointed ears, he is an elf. And he's the only elf I've seen in the whole game.
Yep. What an elf here. But yeah, so later on here, what was it here? I think we'll get into this, but we get to see what happens to King Richard later on during this whole thing.
Yeah.
And Timothy, if I remember right, we just have to take it back to Gladstone with us, if I remember that correctly.
Yep. That's it. Well, first you gotta go find I forget the guy's name. You gotta go talk to this other dude, and he tells you what's going on, and then you go back to Gladstone.
Right.
Now, another thing I'd like to add too about the way this game was done is I still like it better than the two sequels they had. There was a Lancelot 2 and Lancelot 3, but I didn't feel like the gameplay was as good. I mean, it was more free roam like Doom.
Yeah.
But it just looked like crap. You know, it actually looked worse than this, if you can believe it.
Yeah, and people, for those who are wondering what the title's called, the second game is called Lancelot Guardians of Destiny, which came out in 1997, and Lancelot 3 came out in 1999. So, if you want to check out how those games are like, be our guest. But see, that's what I mean by resting there. You try resting, and what happens? You know.
You get attacked. Oh yeah, and by the way, try not to corner yourself either, like I actually did here, you know. But I think I'm going to be able to sleep here. But yeah, that's the one really big rule in this game is don't corner yourself if you're low on health, because yes, you will die. So save often, as you've noticed I'm not doing.
But you make sure you still do it, regardless if you think you're a pro at it or not.
Yeah, I actually can't believe I had forgotten to save, and I'm playing it on medium right now. You can adjust the difficulty
At any time, keep that in mind.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. And there is actually, when I did the first recording of this, I had to adjust the difficulty, because when I fight one of these other orcs in the game, he kept killing me. You know, like every single time he'd kill me, and that was before I gave Michael a better weapon. He was fighting with the dagger, and he was just getting his butt kicked. So I had to tone down the difficulty.
Well, way to go!
Oh, I know, right?
Oh, hey, when orcs have a good weapon.
Now you can equip rocks too. If you fancy punching people with a rock, you can do that.
Sword, who needs it? I punch people with rocks.
Yep, and then the mace isn't nearly as strong as the rapiers.
Yep. So, folks, if this game looks interesting to you, you should go try to find a copy of it here and run it on DOSBox then.
The thing I think is funny though is that's it's got the hooks on the end, so I think that would actually be a flail and not a mace.
Oh, yeah, another message.
Yep. Yeah, he sells you a few things. I don't buy everything from him, but yeah, he's got like bow and arrows, the boots over there on the right you can buy, the shield, and he's also got like some healing salve somewhere. I think it's up above the fireplace mantle.
Yep.
But yeah, he's very limited on what he'll buy. Victor will buy more stuff from you than this guy will.
Yep. So if you're looking for a little money, sell, and go find them out there in the wild.
Yeah. I probably didn't have enough money for the boots because I think they were 10 crowns and I only got 7. There's another thing too is when playing this, be very careful with your money because you do get some extra crowns later on before you leave this the Southlands. But if you have less than 200 crowns, you will not be able to leave the Southlands. You will be stuck there. So be careful that doesn't happen because it did happen to me once.
Yep. So, in other words, spend your money wisely.
Yep.
Yep. So, other than that, I mean, this is what happens when you actually play an interesting game like this here. And of course, it all comes when you just are trying to rest.
I know, right?
Freaking jerks.
It's too bad they don't all drop the maces, that'd be nice.
Well, it'd be a good way to sell off some of your stuff in case you needed it.
Yeah, they're good quality too. They don't have any defects with them, so they sell for, a decent amount.
Yep.
So yeah,
So let's see here. So other than that, I mean, the place I think we're all going to is to some other house or something. If I believe that to be right.
Yeah, we're looking for the, like I said, I forgot his name, but yeah, we're looking for his mansion, and yeah, this is another one too. Again, I'm not doing this, and there's even some trees have a hollow in them, and you can check those, and sometimes you can find items. Sometimes you can get bit too, which will poison you, so be careful sticking your hand in dark places.
Badooch. Yeah, but I think we're going to look for some kind of stone here from this place, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah.
I just forget what it's called, but yeah. But yep, other than that, but just traveling, and this is what most of the gameplay is like here, folks. But it may look slow here, but when you're actually playing it, it's actually a lot faster. It feels faster pace.
Oh yeah, and I just noticed too. I just walked right past it, and I didn't even notice when I was playing. In the playback, I did notice, and there was a swarm that I. Oh, there it is. Okay, I did remember to pick up the swarm. Yeah, make sure you pick up all the swarms. I think there's about 5 of them in the Southlands and the Northlands combined together. There's about 5 swarms because they do pretty decent damage to a lot of enemies. So they're useful against a group. If you're fighting more than 2 monsters, then yeah, those are pretty useful.
Yeah. So think about it like this: it's like the Rock Candy and Super Mario RPG and the Legend of the Seven Stars. It's like that kind of equivalence to be more of an idea.
Yep.
And here we go.
Yeah, there's the house.
What happened? Someone has attacked.
So now we enter in the house.
Yep, so I'm going and kick some orc butt again.
It makes you feel like you're at what is it? In the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, and I accidentally used the wrong save file, but that's okay.
Yep. Well, that's alright for you. And to think, I wonder what Parker would say at a time like this if he saw this kind of a game.
Oh, you got to stay away from those orcs, like the orcs are like a combination of a person and like a pig.
Yeah, and the combination of many other miscreant things too.
Yeah.
I think you mean
These scones are firmly attached. I think you mean sconces.
Scones.
Yep.
You tell me they say scones? No, they said sconces.
wow, must be some
Oh,
fancy
I thought there was that someone had scones, you see.
Must be some fancy words.
It's a go figure thing, but yeah. But this way, the guy who ends up dies. He is freaking what's the word I want to say? He looks like he was brutally beat up, pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, the guy you see in a little bit.
Yeah, and that ain't no joke, folks. I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah, And his last words are.
Brought to you by SoylentBob. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Ha! 7 years bad luck for some poor orc.
I like how he says that kind of joke there.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, like, this guy doesn't have a lot of possessions. I mean, he's got a few tapestries and stuff, but he's got no furniture. Unless the orcs, smashed all his furniture. That'd be my only guess. Maybe that's what happened.
Yep, who knows? But it's always funny to hear that stupid joke going, ha! 7 bad luck for the poor orc.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the other thing, too, is this house that you're in is a 2-level house, but there's no upstairs. There's no stairs that go upstairs, that is what I mean.
Yeah, which is kind of weird here. And SoylentBob was like, why can't I put this oil flask in the rock here at the same time?
Yeah, maybe make some room.
Nah, I'm just kidding around here, folks. He's doing a lot better than I would have, probably, with all this.
Yeah, it's just because I've played this game so many times and know how to, like, organize my items and what to throw away and what to keep.
Yep. No, it's better than me. That guy looked like he was bald when he was just walking around. For a quick second.
Yeah, and see, sometimes monsters will move around you, too, so they're harder to hit.
Yeah.
I wonder who that was.
Looks like the wife of the... It looks like the wife of something here.
Yeah.
Yep, so folks, this is one of those games where it can be really fun to play here. You just gotta remember, how you like it.
Yeah, gonna fight some orcs, too.
Isn't this like the boss orc we're coming up to?
Yeah, this is like the first boss you encounter.
We're gonna kick your ass.
Perish by my hand.
You shall perish by my hand.
So we're gonna go kick ass and chew bubblegum. Well,
Yeah.
I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now you can bluff, and if you do that, he says to you, like, he believes you. I think he says that he believes who you are. Like, you pretend like you're just working for Scotia or something. I can't remember, but then he just kind of like disappears. He's like, "Oh, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep," and then he's gone.
Yep. So,
But you don't get to loot his corpse if you do that.
So it's better to loot his corpse, because you get some good weapons.
There are silver
Yep,
coins
you
in
get
here.
the
Silver
axe and some
coins.
crowns.
This is Roland's hiding place. I hope he is in here.
This is Roland's hiding place.
Yeah, well, like I said, what you're about to see is just
Roland,
messed up
what has
here.
happened?
We say that as well, messed up here too. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just ketchup. See the ketchup bottle behind his head on the right?
We will take you to Gladstone with us. Dawn will heal your wounds.
You will take the Gladstone with us. Dawn will heal your wounds.
You too must recover the ruby.
You too must recover the ruby.
The war has begun, Michael. The death
Yep, and now he goes.
Let us hasten
The
back to
death of
Gladstone.
such a patriot must be avenged. Let us hasten back to Gladstone.
Yep, so this guy here had the stone here and everything else, but you have to kind of pay attention to follow about what's all going on with all this. And now time to loot his
And his
treasure.
corpse is gone.
Yep.
If I don't take these coins, the orcs will. If I don't take these coins, the orcs will.
Stealing from the dead guy.
Not only, but it's the dead guy's like friend or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, I think the saber's pretty much useless. Yep, it is. It's good to sell. So is that thing.
That's why I say you should have rested it before you went back out again.
Yeah. Now I just have to make my way back and sell all my loot.
All your junk. Oh, and all that
Yep.
trunk.
And you do make back more than you have to use on the boat, because the boat it's 100 crowns per passenger. You have 2 people, so that takes me down to 213. But I have so much loot that I can make that back plus a little bit of extra. Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm going the right way. I mean, these maps get like way more complex later on. I mean, they get like to the point where it's just insane.
Yep, and you'll be saying that when you get like toward like either mid game or end game dungeons. It's not funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. The place I hate the most in this game is the mines. The mines drove me insane because they're huge maps and they're 4 levels, so it just takes you forever to get through them. And I might have to do the mines in 2 separate recordings because I'll end up collecting so much crap in the mines. I'm gonna have to take it back to the swamps and then stick it in the stone face, to get the money from it, just because it's just so redundant. And there's a few other things where you can actually bank on useless items using that stone face. But yeah, can't wait for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll just do one big long playthrough, I mean, like, of the mines. Probably it'd be like 2 hours.
Yep. And this creature here, we actually get one of these creatures here as a party member later on, actually, or right after Super Privilege.
Yeah, I think they're related because I think the other one mentions he has a sister, so that could be her.
It could be, who knows? But I don't know what kind of creature you call these guys, though. I was never too sure what kind of creatures they were.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, they look kind of like a fish, but they also look like what was that guy's name again in Mortal Kombat? Grotto? Is that it? Yeah.
Except these guys can do magic more than just fireballs, though.
Oh yeah.
Now we're back in our homeland of Gladstone, and we're going back to the castle.
You may pass.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yep. It's a go figure thing.
Yeah.
His Highness is resting in the throne room.
Yeah, I tell you, I hate that pointer.
Yep. So, now that we're back here, we need to go report to the king here, of course.
Yeah, but first things first, gonna get stock up on items. So when you first come back to Gladstone Keep, go to this guy and buy all his red juice, because the fact that once he finds out what happens to King Richard, he gets all pussy and he locks his door.
So get your items now before anything else happens.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, just stock up on the red juice because it heals you better than the stupid aloe and ginseng. I mean, those plants behind them are just totally useless. I mean, what you could do is you could buy all of those from him and then save them till you get to the Gorka Swamp and then sell them in the stone face, because then you get more money for them than what you paid for them. Yeah, I think I go back and I get the rest of the red juice because I gotta sell this stuff first.
Yeah, but hey, so you need the inventory space.
Yeah, that I want to get the better weapons.
Except the rough spot, 100 crowns.
So now that we're cleaning out again, folks. There isn't that much going on for this whole beginning. So far, if you think about it, Scotia's got the Ring of Power or whatever kind of thing. And later on, what was it? Our character comes in, we go out, we see Scotia, we come back right into the castle. Then after that, we go get Timothy, go to the other side of the lands or whatever. And we find out that one of his friends is dead, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And now we're back here telling the king all of this.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I wonder if there's any mods for this game where you can group items. That'd be nice. But I don't know if there is any. I mean, sure, if you knew something about programming and stuff, you could go in there and you could, like, rewrite the code and make it where you could do that.
Yep, but who knows? Yep, so, and also, the next party member that you actually do get, and I think it would be after, maybe toward the end of this video here, I forget what it was like, He's that golden guy we saw earlier or whatever. Not the one on the one who said, "Hey, we're going on the boat ride," but well, you know, whatever. That guy there, he actually can hold 2 weapons if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, that's right. He can. And see, here's where I make the mistake. How Timothy still has the weapons attached now. Like I said, I replayed it and I unequipped him, and also, if you notice, I didn't buy up all the red salve. In the other playthrough I did, I bought up all the potions, juice, and I unequipped the elf. So, like I say, make sure you do that if you're playing if you ever play this.
Yep. And now Dawn and Scotia go at it, and even though Scotia will retreat, and this is me, you know. What was it? Scotia loses. No, she is the hardest thing in this whole entire game.
So someone just take her out while she's disguised as a crow.
Yeah, you would think that, but whatever.
Yeah.
And also, now what you're looking at now, you actually see 2 party members that you will be getting later on, actually. Well, at least one of them is.
Yep, Paulson, the ginger in the background there.
Yep, and the guy who we're getting now that's going to replace Timothy is Dawn's apprentice. The one on the far left right behind Dawn.
Did you say Carnax? I think I had one that was parked in my garage.
Yep, like I said, so Dawn's apprentice is the one who we get, and he actually sticks with you as a permanent party member, actually.
Yep, he'll stick with you. Paulson joins you later, and he sticks with you too.
Yep, so everyone else is kind of in and out from this point on. Like Timothy will be in and out and all that stuff.
Yep, you can talk to these guys too, but I just kind of forgot. You click on each one, they'll talk to you, but
yep.
It's kind of pointless.
Unless you want to know who each character is, but by this point, there's only 2 characters you should be caring about. The ginger and this guy who's talking now.
Yep.
Farewell, Michael. You had best hurry. Do not grieve at our separation. Makata is a good man. Will be an asset to you on your journey. Your time has come.
Yeah, we're sorry there, folks, if we gotten quiet. We're just kind of like just listening to this here.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now, we get something that's going to be helpful throughout the whole rest of the game.
You get to use spells finally.
About damn time, too. Well, we saw it with 2 spares.
Yeah.
Spark and Heal. Now, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to Spark and Heal is that, with any of these spells, they have different levels of what you can use them for. So if you want to use a spell, you just click on Spark or Heal, then you click on your character, instead of clicking the sword, you click the button underneath it, right?
The glyphs, yeah.
Yep, that one there, and then it gives you levels, and as the game progresses, you can go from, I think, level 1 to level 5, I want to say.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5. You can even get other spells later on too.
Like the Hand of Fate, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I can't remember where to find that one. I'm gonna have to check, and see where I pick it up, because there's like 2 super powerful spells that you can get, and then I always forget to get them. And see, this is also the other reason why I never go with the magic user hero you can pick, because we just now got the magic, so just think of how long it would take. I mean, he has a weak fighting skill, so I don't even know if I'd be able to get past the Southlands with him.
Yep. And folks, this is going into the end of the video, so we're gonna be signing up next time in the caves.
Yep. You'll see the rest of it, and you'll see some extra gear I've got.
Yep. So, see you then.
Bye.
Not much is known of the beginning of the lands, for the chronicles do not extend much beyond the golden age of the ancients. The time before that we can only deduce from myths and legends. An accurate picture of the golden age has been left to us by the Dracoid chronicles. During this time, the chroniclers tell us, the ancients roamed the lands and held dominion over all. Powerful and seemingly invincible, the ancients provided a period of golden peace. There was no want, the peoples lived in harmony, for the ancients provided for all. But the ancients succumbed during the War of the Heretics, a war of terrible power and destructive will. Believed to have been initiated as a conflict between the most powerful ancients, it soon spread to all, and the entire race of supernormal beings was annihilated. After the fall of the Golden Age, the world was plunged into darkness. Uneducated and illiterate, the surviving populace in the land soon reverted to their primitive states and lived isolated and obscure lives. The teachings of the ancients were soon forgotten, and the ancients themselves soon passed into myths and legends. But as time wore on, the species began expanding and exploring the world left to them. This was the time of the great travelers who wrote of strange lands and even stranger adventures. But the meeting of the new species was not always a peaceful one. History echoes with the battle cries and death screams from the racial wars. Violent uprisings spread across the lands as the inevitable conflict among cultures occurred. Lasting for nearly a millennium, the wars destroyed many cultures. Ultimately, acceptance of other cultures ended the wars, but not before much knowledge was lost. This era was the basis of the White Alliance, which was formed of the 4 ascendant races: humans, Dracoids, Huline, and Thomgog. This alliance established dominion over the lands, and a new era of peace was ushered in. But magic had been loosed in the lands during the wars, magic unhealthy and nefarious. It found a home with the Dark One, leader of the Dark Army. For the last 3 generations, the Dark Army has addressed its attention to the throne of Gladstone, a center for education and magic in the lands. The throne has been staunchly defended by the heroes of the lands and remains, to date, undefeated. Yet evil forces throughout the lands are gathering again, and the discovery of an ancient power may bring ruin to the Gladstone heirs and the White Alliance. The Droracle has seen this, and his sight is never disputed.